Hey, fantasy football fans, Kevin here with FFU, and we're going to be looking at a new feature. So, the FFU team members have made fun of some of my picks and some of my hot takes. So, they've challenged me on a start sit for this week. So, going to be going up against Toki, one of the other FFU members. And yeah, let's take a look. Let's see how we go. First up, we got a battle of James versus James, and running back versus running back. Cook on Toki's side and Connor on mine. Toki thinks that Cook will be able to take advantage of arguably one of the worst defensive lines in the NFL. And with the revamped wide receiver room there in Buffalo, there's going to be a great opportunity for him. On my side, I believe the Arizona Cardinals are going to look to establish the run early and often with one of the most underrated running backs in the league every single season, James Conner. I also believe that the Bills' shaky secondary is going to have their hands full with Trey McBride and rookie sensation Marvin Harrison Jr., which should leave some great holes open for James Conner to take advantage of. Next up on Toki's side is Jake Ferguson. With a running back room with an obvious question mark over it, CeeDee Lamb missing a fair bit of the preseason ramp up, and not to mention some of the depth questions after CeeDee, expect Fergie to see plenty of targets. Next, I have Davante Adams matching up against one of the worst projected defenses for the season. Adams sometimes gets overlooked because of the age and team, but still managed to finish as the 10th wide receiver in PPR last season. Minshew may not be the most exciting QB, but provides better stability for Adams than anything you saw in 2023. Toki rounds out his picks with a player set to bully the Washington Commanders. Baker Mayfield will be facing what many consider a bottom 3D this year, and with Evans and Godwin providing one of the most consistent wide receiver rooms in the league, he should have his way with their secondary. On top of that, Baker also seems determined to prove he's still being underrated. While I don't necessarily see him as much more than a flex play, I am going to round out my list with the criminally underrated Courtland Sutton. While he may not have been drafted with much fanfare, Bo Nix is likely the best QB that Sutton has ever had. Courtland Sutton is also entering the season as the de facto wide receiver 1 for Denver and calling for a top 25 day against the Seahawks. Before we move on to those must-sits, I'm hoping you can do me a favor if you're still around. At the end of the video, make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps us out as a new channel. Cheers. Now let's whip through these players that we both think should take a seat. We each have a wide receiver, a QB, and a running back room on our must-sits. Toki is avoiding all Dallas running backs until the situation is clarified, particularly as they are facing one of the best run defenses from last year. I'm doing the same thing with the Cincy room. I like Brown and Moss, but that situation screams running back by committee. Next up are wide receivers. Toki has Jerry Jeudy a distant third in target share behind Cooper and Njoku, and it should be noted that Trayvon Diggs will be lurking in the secondary as he is back and healthy. I expect to see Tank Dell relegated to wide receiver 3 in the Houston offense, and barring injury, I don't expect that to change anytime soon. I do expect that Stroud will try to work in Diggs right away, and that Collins will continue to shine. And finally, our QBs. Is anyone surprised to see Bryce Young on the list? He's starting a season with a tough divisional matchup against a solid-looking defense, and needs to show he's improved over last year. For me, it's pick your poison. Agent QB coming off a season-ending injury with rumors of issues in the locker room. Am I talking about Rodgers? Am I talking about Cousins? As I said, pick your poison. Both of them are going to need to prove me wrong before I start either one. So those are the lists. Let us know what you think and who you think is going to win this one. And we'll check back after the week is done and see where the tally is.